Okay, welcome everybody to team building. We're going to talk a little bit about more about the why you would want to build a team, and kind of a little bit about how to do it at your parties, mainly is what I want to focus on. And I know, Laura and Kelly who are on the call, you've been through some of the step up programs and director bound, and I know this isn't going to really be anything new to you, but sometimes when you hear it at the right time, or it's presented maybe in a little different way, or you hear some different words, it might be just what you're looking for, and it might be like, oh, okay, let me jump at that. So anyway, so again, I don't think you're going to hear anything new, but maybe it'll strike a chord with you guys tonight, and for whoever else might listen in on the recording. Okay, so I guess the first question, and Dawn did this on a training with her team, and she thought it was really fun and interesting, so we're going to do it right here. But kind of, so Kelly, you will have to come off mute for just a minute, but kind of want to know why you guys got started with Pampered Chef. So who wants to, I want you both to share, and Dawn even too, and I'll share as well. So
you go first, Kelly.
Okay. I want to quit paying full price.
There you go. That's a perfect. Because
Yep.
Kelly has hosted a zillion parties. She wants everything and actually owns everything. And so do you take advantage of the half? I mean, you buy everything at half price, right? As it comes out?
I do. I mean, I try to earn the stuff for free. I was not able to earn the summer stuff yet. And I probably won't be able to earn this month's either, because I can't get a party on the books. But I like earning it for free, but I do buy it at half price if I don't earn it. So
right, and that's better than full price. So yeah,
absolutely.
So good. Okay, thanks for sharing, Laura. How about you?
I loved Pampered Chef, and I was already doing 31, and I just kind of thought, well, let me add this on and just kind of see where it goes, because I love the product and stuff, and quickly realized that I was having more success with this than I was with 31. Not knocking 31 at all, but you know what I'm saying? I was just doing better with it. And so I just, it was kind of like, let's see what happens. And now it's kind of like something more for me that I want to do more.
Good. Okay. So Dawn, why'd you get started?
I did it for the paycheck. Okay. I needed a job. I needed the flexibility of a different job. And so I started out doing it while I was looking for a regular full-time job. I was laid off, so I was doing it for a paycheck.
And did you, when you started, see this as being your next career, or just maybe a stepping stone until you found the next job?
Stepping stone until I found my next job.
Okay. And for me, I got started with this. I love the product as well. I wanted the entire catalog, but knew I couldn't buy any of it. And the kicker for me was something as silly as the apple peeler corer slicer. It was in the starter kit, and I wanted it, and I knew I couldn't justify buying it, but with everything else, it was a good deal. And then my first goal with this was $200 a month. That was wiggle room in our budget. So the reason I had you guys all share was none of us started this for anything big and lofty and making $1 million. We all started for rather very simple reasons, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And again, had there been 10 people on this call, what do you think we would have heard?
Same thing.
They would have been maybe different reasons.
Right, but
they all would have been probably about the same. Everybody could use a little extra money. They want a product discount, whatever. So Laura, are you typing by chance?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm writing.
It sounded like typing, and I was going to have you muted if you were. So I don't know what that noise is. But anyway, so the reason I wanted you guys to think about that is, how about if everybody mutes? Because there is some kind of background noise. Will everybody mute real quick and see if we can get rid of it? Okay, it's gone. So anyway, pop back in when you need to say something, but that did take care of that background noise. So thank you. Okay, so anyway, so the reason I had you guys share is when you're sharing at your parties, or you're kind of, putting it out there to get started, it's really very simple reasons why people want to get started. And I think as consultants, we get in our heads all whoops, I think Dawn's camera fell. And we start thinking that, again, it has to be something really big. If we don't tell people they're going to be making big bucks or this or that they're not going to be interested, when really, in reality, most people start this business for very, very simple reasons. Wouldn't you agree? You know, and then when you get started, then you're like, wow, there's a whole lot more to this. You know, maybe this could be my next job, or maybe I don't have to find another job, or, you know, whatever, but it can totally change. So I always say, you know, keep that in mind, you know, really the simple reasons why people want to get started. And that's really what you should be sharing with people to get them interested in giving it a try. And that's the other thing when it comes to recruiting is really, that's the bottom line, is just getting people to give it a try. You know, with anybody that's joining, as I hope you guys, you know, felt this when you joined, but it's not, it might be a long-term life-changing event, but really in reality, it's just a simple give it a try. See what you think. And if you love it, great. And if you hate it, walk away. And I think as long as you kind of have that attitude and people realize that it's not a big deal to get started, you know, why not give it a try? And that's all that it takes. So I think, you know, when it comes to recruiting, it tends to get big and scary in our heads, but it really doesn't need to be. It can be something very, very simple. So, okay. So think about real quick. And at this point, I would like you to go off of mute, share some good things that have happened, or what are some of the great, you know, what are some of the positives that have happened as a result of your business, big or small? So Kelly's off mute. We'll let her go first again. No, we'll let Laura go. She's off. Laura, go first this time.
I think with Pamper Chef or even with 31, the biggest thing for me is the friendships that I'm making and all the other women. I feel like in my office, even though there's a lot of women, I don't feel like I connect with them because they're so spread out in the office. So I have like only one or two. And I don't have a lot of really close friends. A lot of them have moved out of state and stuff. So this was really beneficial for me that I've made so many friends.
Yeah. Awesome.
The money.
And that's not something that generally gets shared. You might, because it's a benefit to you, but I think the rest of us don't necessarily share that, thinking about that as a benefit. But there's a lot of people out there that might be new to town that are looking for a way to connect, or maybe somebody even like in your situation where, you know, friendships have changed over the years and you're just, you know, looking for somebody. And, you know, what a great opportunity to do it through Pampered Chef. So right. Good. Kelly, what are some good things that have happened as a result of your business?
I don't know. I guess probably the extra money that you can earn. I haven't earned a ton of money, but there are a few months where I've earned money that I wasn't really expecting. And then the opportunity, like every year you go on your trip. I know that one year I'll get that opportunity. I just look forward to that
with us.
I know, it'd be so fun.
It would be, yes.
Yeah, all of that.
Good. So what are some things, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there anything in particular that extra money bought you? Like there was a month where, like you said, surprise, I got money. And like, I don't know, did you go shopping or did you?
No, I just spent it.
Yeah.
I can't even think of something that I bought with it.
Yeah. But it's kind of nice to have that extra money that you didn't have to dip into the income. So good.
Right.
So Dawn, anything you want to share? You've had lots of positives. Oh, wait, you're on mute.
What's the question again? You want to know like what?
Some good things that have come as a result of your business.
The trips are amazing. The confidence to just know, like, you start with a kit like everybody else does, and we're all the same, so it just depends on what you do with that kit. And it kind of gives you a little, like when you're feeling kind of insecure and you realize, okay, you know what, I can do this. You know, I think it gives you a little bit of confidence, and I think the trips are amazing, and you can kind of make whatever you want out of it. You know, you can put a lot of effort into it, a little effort into it, make a little bit of money, get free product, make a lot of money. It depends on what you want to do with it.
Yeah, right. So, and again, you know, for me, just to jump in on board on what you've said, I mean, when I started, I was thrilled to have that apple peel core slicer, you know, just that, and I used it all the time, and I loved that, and I loved having the tools, and you know, even just like I said, making that little, you know, again, when I started, it was, you know, that $200 a month or whatever was awesome. You know, I mean, that was what I was looking for. And the fact that I made that kind of money, I was thrilled, and I still could, you know, be home with my kids and whatever. And, you know, as my business has grown, my goals have grown, and, you know, I've set bigger goals, but again, even like I said, $200 a month when I started was was great. Like you said, I mean, sometimes it's just a little bit of money, but it can make a big difference in, in your life, or, just the fact that you have that wiggle room in your budget. So I always say, keep those things in mind. And I was hoping to have more on the call so you guys could hear more stories, because it isn't just you and what's happened to you and how your business is for you. It is kind of pulling in everybody else's stories. So it's one of those things, maybe at a team meeting, we can all kind of share again, because I think it is good to hear other people's stories, because you can use that. Like, oh, there's somebody on our team, she paid off a credit card, or there's somebody, on our team that earned the money to take her family on a cruise. So there's all kinds of stories like that you could be throwing around. So always keep that in mind. And I think the biggest thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about recruiting is, I'd heard this recently from somebody else, is that it's very selfish to not share the business. So think about, again, how your life has changed, or what benefits you've received from the business. And would it have been selfish of me, or again, in Laura's case, Christina, to not share that and not let you have that opportunity? That kind of changed how you think about it? Because a lot of times it seems to be like, what's it going to be for me? What am I going to benefit from this? And you really have to take yourself out of it. You will benefit, but think about what you have to offer other people. And I've often heard this, you probably have heard it on some other trainings, but the business opportunity is truly a gift that you give to somebody. And like Dawn said, you get the gift, it's up to you to do something with it, so it's not, from there, it's up to you to take the gift and do something, or to put the gift aside and say, nope, I don't want it, or whatever. But, it truly is a gift that can change somebody's life. And when I say change somebody's life, it doesn't have to be, like I said, I really feel like it was very changed. My life really changed as a result of it, because of, being able to be home with my kids and the income that I've earned. But even again, had it even just been $200 a month, and that we lived a different life because of $200 a month, would have been life-changing. I mean, it was life-changing that I had $200 extra a month. So again, when you think about it, it's for somebody else, you don't know what they need. And it's only when you give them that gift or that offer to, make a change in their life that it's a great thing. So always think about that, is that when you're not sharing, you're being very selfish by not offering that gift or giving somebody else the same opportunity that you had. So any comments on that or thoughts?
Nope.
Okay, anybody heard that before? I'm sure you've heard about it being a gift, but kind of the selfishness part is like, oh, that is kind of interesting when you think about it like that. Okay, let me check on my notes here. Let me see what else I want to share. So, so when you're doing your shows, I think the most important thing, and I think what really changed for me when I started to really, be getting more interest in, people wanting to learn more about the business, was another light bulb moment for me when somebody shared with me, when you share about bookings and or you share about recruiting, you should share just like you do your favorite product. And this, I think we have talked about on some of these other calls. So, think about whatever it is in your party, whatever is your favorite tool, you make sure you work it into every show. And I'm just going to use the Rock Crock, for instance. Okay, so we love the Rock Crock, and you want to make sure that you are doing a Rock Crock recipe at every show because it's your favorite. And when it comes time to share about that Rock Crock, you could talk, you probably don't do it, but you could probably talk for 30 minutes about all the great benefits of that product, and you're excited, and people can hear it in your voice, and they can tell, oh my gosh, she loves this product. And guess what? They buy it, right? Because they can hear your passion, they can hear your love for it, and it's something that you share every time, no matter what, because you absolutely love it. So guess what? Recruiting is no different. When you have that same passion in your voice, and you have that same excitement, and you even put that same amount of time into it, because again, you're going to put more time into selling a Rock Crock than you are a Season's Best, right?
Right.
Okay. So same thing, the sharing of the opportunity is very, very important to your business, is vital to your business. So you should be putting that same amount of time into sharing the business as you do sharing a tool, for instance. And it really is no different. So it's that same, time and passion that's going to get people that are going to like, gosh, I do want to learn more. That does sound like a great opportunity. So how are you guys kind of working recruiting into your parties?
I think that I think you need to do it. I always use the booking. I always use the recruiting slide. I do it at every single show, even if there's only, whether I have a room of 2 people or whether there's 20 people there. I always make sure I do the booking and recruiting slide. Always.
Okay. Anybody else doing something else?
I've used that same slide.
Good.
I can't think of, I guess I've used a little orange thing too.
That the orange being the slide, because it used to be orange and white. Is that what you're referring to?
It's just a pamphlet.
Oh, yeah. Yep, the Life Tastes Great.
Right.
Yeah.
Kristen,
perfect.
I gotta grab a call from a customer.
Okay, come on back. So anyway, yeah, and that's great. And like I said, there's not a right or a wrong thing to do. You just have to find what works for you in terms of that. I like to have a prompt. If I have something in my hand, it kind of reminds me to talk about it. So it doesn't matter what your prompt is. But what are you guys doing as you introduce yourself? Are you guys doing any, as you either introducing yourself or the intro to your party, or are you guys doing any recruiting messages?
What do you mean?
Well, I say it's a good time. What a lot of times you hear people say is when you're introducing yourself, it's a good time to tell maybe a little bit of your story. And that was kind of an exercise that I wanted to kind of take us through next. So there's kind of 5 questions to answer to create your story.
Okay.
And really each one is a sentence. So I'm going to kind of give you the props. And it's something, so let me show the questions, let you guys take a minute to jot down the answers, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So question number 1, what was your situation before joining Pampered Chef? So that could be something like, I'm married, I have 2 kids, I work a full-time job, or, for me, I'm married, had when I first started. So, hi, Nicole, how are you? So we're doing, just to catch you up, we're just starting and working on how to tell your story. So if you could take a minute to answer this question, what was your situation before joining Pampered Chef? And it could be what, whether you worked full-time, whether you were a stay-at-home mom, whether you just lost a job, whether you were, again, mom, wife, mother, whatever. So something, just a one-liner about yourself, your situation before joining Pampered Chef. And let me know when everybody kind of is ready to move on to the next question.
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. One more time, Kristen.
What was your situation before joining Pampered Chef?
And are we supposed to write the answer or tell you?
Nope, write it down. We're going to put it all together and you guys can all share then in a minute. Okay, question number 2. What are you looking for from your business? So think back to when you got started. What were you looking for when you joined? So that pretty much is what we talked about at the beginning of the call. Kelly said I was looking for a discount on product. For me, I wanted $200 a month. I wanted the apple peeler quarter slicer for free. It could be, anything along those lines. So kind of what were your initial business goals?
Oh, show me.
Where's the call? Oh, wait.
Let me know when you're ready for number 3. And again, this doesn't have to be a big paragraph, really one sentence, because by the time we put it all together, it's going to be your paragraph.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 3. What was a concern you had about joining? And you can even take it so far as how did you solve that? So for instance, I wasn't sure my friends would book any parties. I didn't know where I was going to get any business. I was scared to death to talk in front of people. Those might be some common things that a lot of people include in their story. But again, what was it for you? Everybody have something down?
Yep.
Okay, number 4. How is your life better because of Pampered Chef? So that could be I've gone on some amazing trips. I paid off my credit card. I've had that extra spending money. I didn't have to ask my husband for money, whatever.
What was that question again?
How is your life better because of Pampered Chef? You know, my kitchen is fully stocked with Pampered Chef tools. I own everything in the catalog. You know, whatever is better because of your business. And then number 5, what do you hope to accomplish in the next 1 to 3 years of your business? So that could be, I'm working to earn a trip. I'm hoping to pay off my credit card debt. I'm hoping to, you know, get my car paid off. I'm hoping to make enough money to make my mortgage payment every month. I'm hoping to earn every free product Pampered Chef offers me. I'm hoping to make more friends. I don't know. It could be whatever. So, and it can be big or little. I mean, it's your goal, and everybody's, you know, business is different. So. And now, Nicole, you do a lot of virtual parties, but all of this can be something that could be some posts that are part of your parties. So
Okay.
you talk about your recruiting or joining your team or whatever. These are things that you could do still as part of your party.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. So basically, telling your story, this could be kind of told any number of different places throughout your party. A lot of people, when they introduce themselves, they tell their story. And again, we're not talking, you know, 15 minutes talking about yourself. It's literally these 5 questions. So, you know, for instance, you know, for me, it could be something like, you know, my name is Kristen. I've had my Pampered Chef business for 17 years. I decided to give this a try when I had recently quit a full-time job and was home with my little boys. They were 3 and 5 at the time. One sentence, pretty much, right? I was looking to make $200 a month, and I loved the product. I wanted to see how much I could get for free. I was afraid nobody would have parties with me, but I thought, what the heck, I'm going to give it a try. If they booked, great, I would continue on. And that, I kind of say something to this when I do my ticket game. As long as I have dates on my calendar, I will continue to do this business. You know, so that kind of answers that question. Is like, if I don't have dates on my calendar, guess what? I'm done. You know, it's not that big of a deal, or whatever. So, and then, you know, my life has truly been blessed because of all that Pampered Chef has offered me. It has paid for all the extra activities for my family. It has paid for my kids' college. And over the next 1 to 3 years, I'm looking to build my team and to offer this business to others so that they can have the same opportunities that I have. So really, had I not even stopped talking in between 5 sentences, what do you think that took me? Maybe a minute? So it's not like a big, scary thing to be sharing about yourself. And what it does is it kind of, number one, lets people get to know you, but it also kind of lets them think, oh, I've got little ones at home. Oh, I want free, you know, again, the different pieces of your story can kind of relate to different people. And even if you don't like your story or don't think your story is very compelling, you can always, alongside of your story, kind of draw in other stories. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But does anybody want to kind of share their 5 sentences, even though it's not put together well and it doesn't flow? I still would love to hear somebody's answers. Who wants to share?
I'll go.
Okay, thanks.
I was working full-time, still working full-time. My kids are grown. I'm married and my kids are grown up. I was looking for some extra money at the time for wedding planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that, Kristen?
I do.
We exceeded our budget, by the way.
All budgets, all weddings blow the budget, right?
Right. I wasn't sure where the business would come from if I'd be able to book parties, which is still an issue.
Okay.
I have mostly PC in my kitchen when we did a remodel, and I do have most of the catalog, and I enjoy earning the extra money. And in the next 1 to 3 years, I would like to promote, even earn a full-time income.
There you go. So again, it's again something you need to work on. I mean, I'm going to email out. This is like a little training thing. I'm going to email this out to everybody, and so I encourage you guys to take some time and put some thought into this and kind of practice your words so that it flows and that it has. Number one, you've got to feel comfortable with what you're saying. So, but this will kind of help you share your story. Another thing, does anybody else want to share? Go ahead, Laura.
I had to take it off mute, sorry. So what the situation I was doing, I was already doing another direct sales. I just kind of wanted to see how this would go comparing to it. I was looking for more product, and I wanted to be with a company where I felt like maybe my commission and parties were coming in easier than the one that I was with. Number 3, how much I had to sell to stay active is what I was worrying about, and if I would get more parties, since I already felt like I was tapped out with 31 family and friends. And how did I overcome that? Well, it was a different product, and they wanted to see it, so that helped. 4, the things that it's brought me is I've got a new car, which I didn't think that I could get, and it's making the payment for me very easily, so that's good. Friends, and then more PC product in my own kitchen. And 5, to become a director and earn a trip.
Perfect. So good. So again, with practice and kind of smoothing it out, you're going to feel more comfortable with it. The other, an even simpler version, but it kind of is a take on this, is when you introduce yourself, you can always say, I got started with Pampered Chef because whatever your reason is. And then and almost kind of stop it then and say, oh, but enough about me. And then you'll go into your party and do whatever. And then what I like to do is then kind of wrap it up at the end with a little bit more of this information, because I figure at the beginning, they don't know me. They might not even care yet, but I think by the end, they might be a little more receptive to all this information. So then you could kind of finish it up at the end. So what I do is I, do the little bit about the free gift as a guest special. I talk about my bookings. And then the last thing is I want to talk a little bit about the business. And so I always say to them, if you remember, I told you at the beginning, I started my business 17 years ago because I absolutely loved the product and was looking for a little extra money. But let me tell you why I stayed. Okay. So then that kind of because again, we all start for whatever reason, but there's got to be a reason you stay. I mean, every one of you on the phone has been doing this over a year. Nicole even, did it for a little while and came back. So there's a reason that you stick with it. There's a reason that you come back. And I think that's as compelling as anything, because again, it kind of lets people know, hey, there's something to this, right? So again, so for me, it would be at the beginning, just my quick, I love the product. I wanted everything in the catalog, and this was the only way I could afford to get it all, or I knew I was going to get these great discounts. So that could be why I started. Then at the end, I say the reason I stayed is because of the income that I've made over the years. So then that kind of goes into how is your life better because of Pampered Chef, and kind of what your goals are. So do you see how you can even take this and divide it into 2 places? And personally, I like it kind of divided between the 2. It's just a little bit more comfortable for me, but you guys kind of have to work that out and see what works best for you. But I kind of like that. I started because, and then enough about me, go into the party, and then come back to that. This is why I stay. And then that kind of takes you into the rest of the recruiting. Does that make sense? Something you guys think you can do? Because that's the main thing, is whatever we talk about on these calls is that you should then work it into your party. And I'll be honest with you, anytime you want to try something new, it's going to take practice. So you can't just say, okay, I'm going to work that into my next party, and when you show up, you're going to say it, because guess what? You're not. You're going to have to practice it. So like at home, stand in front of the mirror, whatever it takes, and say it a couple of times of how you want to open your show, and then how you want to go into your recruiting message. And then again, as you're saying, why I stayed, then that can take you into whatever, the recruiting slide, whatever you want to do that's going to share the business. Does that make sense? And that's where you're going to have your passion. And when you're sharing your story too, that has to come from the heart. You can't just be blah, 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 because then they're going to be like, does it really mean anything to her? This is your story. This is what you're passionate about. So it needs to come from your heart. And, when you're sharing what's so, again, what's going on in your business, and you'll be surprised. People will just be like, wow, I had no idea that you could make money. I had no idea you got product at discount. I mean, whatever it is, that's what they're going to be wowed by. So questions on that? Okay. So really the most important thing is it doesn't matter what you say or do, but you do have to talk about recruiting, or nobody's going to even know that it's an opportunity available to them, right? So who's still scared to talk about it at your parties? And you can be honest. Raise your hand if you're like, this still gives me hate shivers every time I think about it.
I feel like the spoon game really helped me get over that.
Okay, so you're asking
because it gave me something to really help me talk about it versus if I was just standing there talking about it.
Right.
It totally took that fear away from me.
What's the spoon game? What's the spoon game?
The ticket game. She passes a spoon around, passes a prize, right, Laura?
Yeah, I use the spoon and I pass it around with like a timer for 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
Right. So is everybody familiar with that, or do we need to go through what that is? Everybody good? Okay. So whatever. And I'm with you, Laura. When I started doing that, that made me much more comfortable because it was their questions, not what I wanted to tell them. It was what was all about them. So yeah. So anyway, so whatever props, like I said, whatever you do to get that word out. Because if you're not talking about it, you're not letting them know what the opportunity is available, they're never gonna, sign up on their own. So it's up to you to be talking about it. So
can I just say something on that also, that sometimes when I've gone into parties and you look around the room and maybe there are people and you already know that they're not going to be interested. Maybe you already know your friend over there is getting ready to retire and she's not, and you've got this group of people and you're like, do I really want to play this game? Because I know it's not going to do any good. And what's helped me is I say to them that I want to do it anyway because it's good practice for me. Maybe they can throw questions at me that I don't know. And also if they could take this information and think about if there's somebody else out there that this would be good for.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Really do that, because that even actually takes the pressure off where I feel like I'm trying to high pressure sell them. Mm-hmm. That it makes it easier.
Yeah. And I would even challenge you to say, I know this was a group you're referring to, that it was your friends, but I think even if you think you don't.
No, you're right.
Because
but I mean, it just.
Yeah, because a lot of
it
times
made me feel like I wasn't like putting a thumb on them and trying to really sell it to them. I'm being more lighthearted about it, but then I'm still getting that information out there.
Yeah.
I don't think you're selling it, you're offering it.
Well, we think we're offering it. They take it as that we're selling it until they kind of calm down. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel the same way with me. When I go into something like that, Tupper or whatever it is, and they're talking to me, now I know it's an opportunity, but before I felt like it was high pressure selling and I would look in my catalog. I didn't want to look up because I didn't take it that they're offering an opportunity. I took it that they're high pressure selling me.
And I think it goes back to what's in our mind. If you think, even though you think you're offering, don't think they're thinking you're selling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you need to just go wholeheartedly into, I have something great that I have to offer you, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't sharing this great opportunity with you.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I just feel like I understand half of them sitting on the couch are not taking it that way.
And you know what? If that is it, so be it.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. But I think it's fine to, kind of give them permission. I mean, to just, and I think a good way around that is what you did. This is for you or maybe somebody you know.
Right.
When you offer the opportunity, I think those are good words to say, I want to, share a little bit about, what we have to offer. This may be for you, but it might be for somebody, and then that kind of gives them permission to listen, even though they might be, again, they want to listen for themselves, but they could say, hey, I'm listening for a friend or whatever. So kind of give them that permission that it could be for somebody they know. Same thing too, when I do my game where I pass the prize, I give them permission to play, even if it's just for the prize. Because you know what, but the only way to play is to ask a question. So again, kind of gives them permission to say, oh, I just wanted the prize, but really it is getting that information out.
I'll be right back. Be right back.
And when they play the game, even if it's not for them, somebody in the room who might be too shy to ask a question is hearing the questions and hearing the answers. So it's a good game to play, even like I said, even if the person who's asking the question may not be the one who is ultimately interested, right? So, and didn't you have good luck, Laura? I mean, with that group, weren't you surprised by somebody who was interested?
Are you talking about the party on Saturday? I'm talking about the party I was at on Saturday. We're gone.
Yeah, I said there was one I think you shared with me that you didn't, it was your friends and you didn't think they were interested, but then you went ahead with it anyway and you found out that somebody was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I said, even with your friends, they may not be sharing with you that they're struggling financially, right? I mean, we think we know our friends and, you think whatever, but you may not realize that they may be struggling financially and maybe they are looking for an opportunity to make some extra money. And again, if you don't share and give them that opportunity, then, they're not going to have that opportunity. So.
And you never, things change. And like Kristen said, you don't ever know. And I mean, I think you ask everybody all the time.
Right. And I think too, to become the most comfortable with recruiting is when you do ask everybody every single time, it just becomes what you do.
Right.
Because we don't know. And if you try to guess, who's interested, who's not, and whatever, don't even just, ask everybody every single time, no matter what. And that's just what you do. And then also too, people realize, she's going to ask everybody. So it's not like a big, scary, bad thing or that you're putting people on the spot. So absolutely. Right. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Anything else they want to share? Dawn's our super recruiter. Any 2 cents you want to put in?
No, I never assume anything. It doesn't matter how big or small the crowd is. I do the recruiting side every single time. Because you just never know who's doing what and whose circumstances have changed that maybe you don't know about.
Right. And it's really very simple. We, in our heads, make it way more bigger, scarier than it is. And it's not a big, scary thing. You're selling the business like you're selling a food chopper. And I think when you think about it like that, it really is very, very simple. So so again, I don't want to take much more time because we're kind of at the end of our time here. But so the main thing is you have to, I think it's important to share your story a little, again, however you want to do it, with a little bit about yourself, how you got started, why you got started, and what benefit you've gotten from it. I think that's really important for people to get to know you, but also to know the benefits of the business, and then share the benefits of the business, however you want to do it. And then when you have somebody that is interested, I want you all to know the best resource for them to get information about the business is at your personal websites. And they go to click on the button that says be a consultant. So to me, that is the best recruiting information that you have to offer. I mean, I give them the brochure that Kelly talked about, the grab a spoon brochure, the orange brochure. So I send them home with that and I send them home with the catalog, but I also direct them to my website. And I think that is the best source of information because again, you guys being newer or having not done as much recruiting might feel like, now that they're interested, I don't know what to say. I mean, that's always the next step and we're not going to go into that tonight, but that's the next step. What do I say then? How do I get them started? But I think really, if you direct them to the website, they're going to get the information they need. They're going to see the great opportunities that are being offered, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to sign them. But what's most important is you met them at the party, try to get them to sign up right then and there. Who all has signed somebody at a party? Anybody in this group? Great. Isn't that the easiest way, Margaret? Wait, you're still on mute.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but then she didn't do anything. So yeah.
You know what? It doesn't matter whether you spend days, months, years talking to somebody and sign them and they don't do anything or they sign up at the party. Don't worry about that part of it.
Right.
How easy is it to offer them the opportunity? This is a great deal. Let's buy your kit right now. I mean, and that really should be words at your party too. It's like, when you're, collecting door prizes, you're asking at the full service checkout, however you're getting it, that somebody's interested. Really, the question should be right there at the party is, are you ready to get a kit ordered, or do you need some more information? Because they may say, nope, sign me up, I'm ready to go. And there's no reason for you to say anything, because you might talk them out of it. No. So really, if they're ready to order their kit, get the kit ordered right then and there. But if they're not ready, that's when I send them home with the, go to my website, check it out. And then what is most important is you following up with that person. Because guess what? They are super duper excited at the party. And what happens as soon as they leave? Right. That interest level is going to shoot way down. I mean, as soon as they're having fun, they're with their friends, they're having a good time. As soon as they walk out the door, that interest diminishes. So the sooner you follow up with them, like the next day, they're still going to be, more excited than if you wait a week. Every day that you wait to call them, their excitement drops off.
Right.
So you want to follow up with them as soon as possible. So even at the party, I would recommend, again, asking first if they're ready to sign. And if not, say, when can I follow up with you tomorrow? Or are you available tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening that I can give you a quick call? So kind of set that date with them so that you can call them that next day while they're very excited. See if they've had a chance to look at the website. And guess what? If they say no, what are you going to say? Anyone?
Is there another time we can talk about it?
How about if you have a few minutes, we can look at it together? What do you think of that answer? Because guess what happens? If you say, oh, I'll call you tomorrow, do you think they're going to look at it? Probably not. And then the next day, whatever. So, and then they may say, no, you know what, I'm busy right now, I can't. That's fine. And, set up another follow-up. But if you've got them on the phone, say, you know what, hey, why don't you log in and let's look at it together. And, kind of go through that, kind of have that interview or that, exchange of information at that time as best you can. Sound like a plan? And really, honestly, that website, that information there, and if you haven't looked at it lately, go take a look. There is information for you that I think would really be good for, again, go through that and, take a listen to that information, because it will help you when you're at your parties, when people ask questions. Now you're going to be that much more knowledgeable. So I guess my assignment to you is go through all that information at the Be a Consultant button at your website if you haven't done it in the last month or two, and see what's there and use that as a training for you to get, to kind of be more armed when you're at your shows so that you can be more knowledgeable. Okay. And then two, if you need more help with recruiting, there's also a whole recruiting course at the Pampered Chef University. So if you haven't gone through those materials, that would be another good assignment. If you want to, if team building's, on your agenda, this is something I want to do, take that team building class and go through that. So does that kind of give you guys some information in your arsenal for building your team?
Yes.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Question. Like how many people do you recruit per party? Like, do you do like one per average or?
No, it varies. My goal is 2 a month. Okay. And I'm doing like 8 parties, so I'm not recruiting at every single party.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, you know what? Whatever but I do want to walk out of every party with a couple of leads. So let me kind of put it that way. So again, I don't necessarily sign somebody from every party, but I want to be walking away with Pampered Chef's goal, I guess, if you kind of do their little formula for success, is 3 leads from every party. I'm happy if I kind of walk out of there with 2 leads. So, and again, one of your best leads from a party is who?
The host.
The host. Right. So really think about it. Your host could be one of your leads, and 2 guests could be your other 2. So there's your 3 leads, if you want to kind of look at it that way. And I find, what you go into your party looking for is what you're going to get. So if you're like, oh, I need bookings on my calendar, and that's going to be what you focus on, yeah, you're going to walk out with bookings. But once, you're kind of feeling good about your calendar, go in there with that mindset. I'm going to find recruit leads. Who's going to be the next person on my team? And I guarantee you with that focus, and when you go in there with that in your mind, and that's your focus, you're going to get those leads. So I would make it a definite goal to be walking out of every party with at least one lead, if not more. And then it's going to be that follow-up that's going to get that person to sign. I wish I signed. Yeah, so if I signed everybody every party, boy, I would have, gosh, that'd be like 10 a month. I would be like superstar recruiter. I would love that.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure, absolutely.
So with my online parties, I do like a point system for the party. And then one of the things I post is like ask me questions about what you'd be interested about my job and blah blah blah.
Right.
And then there's another post later on that's what if you could pick which kind of consultant you would be, which one would you want to be? And then I never know what to do when people respond. Like I'm like, oh, okay.
I would totally, like it or whatever, and again, maybe even throw out some recruiting information with that post. But I would definitely maybe private message them. Because again, you don't want to necessarily put them on the spot, on the party necessarily, but I would definitely private message them and say, hey, you had said that you'd be a, catalog consultant or whatever. Can I answer some questions for you? Or I'd love to have you on the team. Would you like to give it a try?
Okay.
Anybody else have anything they want to add? Anybody else that's doing virtual parties? I mean, it's that follow-up. It's same thing too, like at a party when, whatever game we're doing, if we're, passing a prize around or whatever, it's the people that ask the questions that are participating. I definitely follow up with them. So it'd have to be the same thing. They're participating in your game. So I would definitely follow up with them. Yeah. And I think, and like I said, I would private message them, or if they've ordered and you have contact information, you could certainly contact them. But most likely at that point, it would have to be a private message. So, but just say, hey, I am looking for people to join my team that are just catalog consultants. Can I share some more information, or can I direct you to my website? And take it from there. Yeah, because if they're playing the game, Nicole, definitely there's some interest. Because because I think people know, what, again, you are looking, you're asking those questions for that reason. And if they didn't want your follow-up, I don't think they'd participate.
Yeah. I just never knew what to do. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, follow up. It's always, that's the answer. Follow up. Just kind of see, are they just playing the game, or are they looking for some information? Absolutely. Good. Any other questions, comments? Nope. Okay. So since there's more on the call and I didn't start with this, anybody want to share some good news? Who's got some good stuff going on in their business since we last talked? Somebody's got to have some good news.
Well, I actually made some sales this month.
Yay! I know you had none last month, so we're very.
I know.
Good.
I haven't looked at my reports yet. Have you earned the? I know you've earned the first level of the summer products. Have you earned the second level this month?
What is the number that you have to be for second level?
1,500.
I'm gonna be close, but I don't think so. I think by the end of the night I might be 14 something.
Okay. We'll check it out. Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else? Did you have a party, Kelly? No. But we got Thornton Fest coming up. That's a good thing.
Is that fall now?
I'm not on the schedule.
Oh, that's right. You have a graduation party. Never mind.
I do.
Okay. Then we're going to have to work on getting you some other leads somewhere else.
I could go through my leads probably.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm going to pull those out and go through those.
June is such a good special. If you don't have, advertise the June. June is awesome. Anything at 60% off. I think it's the best of the year.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely. So Nicole, anything good going on with you?
I have a party that I'm closing tonight, and I might have a couple more leads for the end of the month. So.
All right, good for you. Good. Okay, Margaret, I know you're working on closing a couple of parties, right?
Yeah, trying to close a couple of parties.
So that you can get your summer products.
Right. Yeah, not a good month this month, but yeah.
Okay,
Trying.
Dawn, do you want to share about the trip?
The trip was amazing. Trying to earn next year's trip.
So share your favorite part of the trip.
All of it. I mean, I got to hang out with Kristen for 4 days with the family. The resort was amazing. You know, there's not a lot of jobs out there where you can just do it. There's somebody on the plane with me. I thought this was interesting. Stewardess asked her something about, the flight attendant asked her something about a lot of Pampered Chef people. She says, yeah, I earned a tip just for doing my job. I was like, you know what? She's right. Like, just treat it like a job. I work at the post office, and they don't give me a job at the end of the year. I mean, they'll give me a tip at the end of the year, you know?
Right.
So I just go in, and I know every night I have to go to work. I go to work, and they give me a tip for doing it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's nice that they give us a trip, and you work for it, and you get it. And I don't know. I just think, I mean, the resort was amazing. The outing on the beach was amazing. I mean, they really do take care of you. It's not like they sent you up to Super 8, like in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, we have a really nice all-inclusive resort. Like, all you want to eat or drink, whatever you need. I had a problem, they took care of it. I mean, whatever it is, they just take care of it. So it's nice. It's really nice.
They're incredible. So I have pictures to post. I'm sure Dawn posted throughout the whole week. So
I tried to post one tonight.
Yeah, I know. I got to do it now. So anyway, well, thanks for joining the call. This has been recorded, so if you guys want to listen again, you can. I'll put it out for the rest of the team to listen, and hopefully they'll get some good information from you guys. So
Thank you.
you got it. Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your night, and call me if you guys are struggling with anything.
Okay.
So good night, guys.
Thank you.
Talk
All
to you
right.
later. Bye-bye.